I close my eyes, it's not a dream. There's so much more that I can get. Let me wonder what we could have been. I smile that I couldn't keep. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. 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 There's so much more that I can get. Let me wonder what we could have been. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. I smile that I couldn't keep. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. 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 Money got me like. Money got me like.
Hello, and we are back. Thank you for waiting. We are here with our main event, our main Fuel Esports team versus St. Clair Gold. Varus, Fabio, and Fatal Leaf going up against our Fuel Esports, McLean, Reeker, and your Peepaw.
Yeah, we got two new faces on the Fuel Esports side. Excited to see how they're going to be going. McLean, especially a very highly sought prospect. We'll see how he ends up doing. As Fuel is going to keep the offensive going on. I'll goes for something. McLean and Varus meet up in the skies, but it's just going to go the way of St. Clair. Fabso comes off the side, flip the wall, goes down. Varus tries to get that handoff, but it just goes slightly wide. Fatalist takes back up. One flip reset, 2, 3, why not? And Fabso there to match it. And you can already see just the level of gameplay from these players. I mean, what else? It's utterly speechless at what we have witnessed, right? Fatalist, a beautiful setup for Fabso to clearly finish that one off as see why St. Clair is so strong, such titans of Rocket League and most esports as they continue on the offensive. Fabso now goes up to the sky, but McLean gets it out.
And now with a strike right to the roof, it goes to a double hit, enough to get clear, but there it goes with McLean onto the clear. Varus goes to try and get something, but Fabso is there. I almost keep saying Fabio, don't know why.
It's okay, we'll figure this out as we keep on going on. As McLean and Reeker try to get it out of their own end, they do successfully, but Fatalift meets up with Reeker, who ends up going just a little bit too wide, crashes into the wall. He's back. Meet up with Fatalift. Clearly going to be marking. No backboard defense here, though, for Fuel. Almost causes some problems as those bounce shots. Get backboard defense, the higher level of a team, the more and more important it is. As Fabso passes beautifully right there. The waiting wheels of his teammate who gets that one out. Your Peepaw looks for something. He's just going to set it up. Gets a demo too for a shot on that as well. As, going to cleared out once again. It's just a battle of clears. Neither team really getting, those center plays, but Varus now goes up, bounce off the wall. It's centered up. Fatalift's going to be the one to match it, as it's just going to bounce off the inner post. Varus looks for something, but McLean again trying to get it out, but it's caught by Varus here. Goes for a ground pinch just to try to get a little bit of speed on that ball because didn't have all the boost in the world. Reeker now gets it through Fabso, but there's nobody there to meet it except for Varus.
But you go with Ferris to McLean, and it strikes back into the end zone of St. Clair. The Fabso strikes it beautifully, and it gets pitched all the way, stopping all the momentum right in the center. Rieger goes for an aerial, goes to a pass. It is now in the strike. Peepaw goes, and it gets blocked in the last second. A really good block for St. Clair. Goes to roll again, gets hit by Fatalift, who has a really good ball control. Another good strike to a tire strike. Passes over Rieger, goes to your Peepaw, passes out the wall again, goes to the center, gets hit by Rieger again. It's in the end zone of Fuel. Will they manage to clear this out? McLean using all their boost to try and get out. 14-5 gets a flip, and it gets redirected all the way back to Fuel's end zone. This might be another goal.
It's in danger zone there as it's centered back right up, but instead Fuel get it out. Rieger though, no boost. Not really content with this as it keeps on bouncing off these walls. Another shot, but Peepaw is going to be the one to catch that one in time. You can see the level of these players. I mean, you need a miracle really to get a goal past any of them. Like what Fatalift did earlier, as now it's back on the side of St. Clair's end, centered up, and it goes wide. That touch not going how Fuel wanted it. Only one. And McLean, no boost. Reeker up here, though, with full boost. He runs out. It's touched up, but it's just not going to go the way he wants. As Fabso gets it out, gets past one. He gets a flip. He sets that one up right into the waiting arms of McLean. It's now Fatalift off the wall. Side flip. It looks for something, but it doesn't go the way they want. 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining, and it's been high-octane gameplay since the very moment the ball started rolling. Now, Clair looks for something yet again, but McLean is going to catch that one, and it's a double touch. Peepaw as well, but Fatalift with lockdown defense, not going to let a single ball roll past him as he keeps this one in, and he keeps St. Clair in the lead.
And as the exchanges goes back and forth, not a single offensive opening in sight. We've had close calls. Fabso with another clear with a good pass right into the waiting arms. But 18 boosts, not enough, goes to McLean. A demolition right into their flip reset. Use all of their boosts to get to the center. 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's still 1-0 with St. Clair in the lead by 1. Your Peepaw is going for it now.
Just getting centered right back down. Fatalift not going to get what you wanted, but it's actually a fake as Fabso gets it. McLean gets that one out of their end, but instead of 50, he's actually won by the side of St. Clair of Fabso. Rieger tries to get it out. They need to make something happen. 10 seconds remaining. The ball is in the air, but it's in St. Clair's control. We're just going to try to get this one down. It bounces over the member of Fuel as Fabso will be trying to bring this down. McLean trying to keep it up as Rieger as well, but it's going straight. Rieger keeps up these dribbles. He's trying his best to keep it up. He's solo, making miracles right now. The Barrist gets another touch, and it's been 0 seconds for almost a minute, but it's going to go down as St. Clair takes game 1, 1-0. A fantastic game to start us off, but in the end, St. Clair with that one beautiful setup there by Fatalift with Fabso getting that handoff is going to be enough to give them that first game victory.
I was going to ask for a paper bag. I was panicking there. It's like, you're so close!
It was a nail biter, truthfully, to the very end. Every player putting all of their effort out on the court, but in the end, again, St. Clair's going to be a little bit better in game 1. Now let's see if Fuel can, recoup, can maybe figure out what ended up going wrong, and come back stronger and make sure that they don't go down 2-0.
Honestly, what they have to do is score first. That's what they have to do, because you saw St. Clair only got 1 goal, and that was it.
But that 1 goal was set up so beautifully. I mean,
That was a prime goal. That's what you want to see.
those prime goals are really going to be what you're going to need a lot of the time against the players of these caliber, because both these teams are such high echelon teams, such high echelon players. Now, shortly heading into game 2, let's see if Fuel can fight back, can bounce back, and get themselves on the board.
They definitely can. They just need. They were at the 95%. They just need to be a little bit more surgical on their strikes.
Yeah, a lot of the players on Fuel, they were telling me earlier, they said we kind of got to punch up the matchup with St. Clair, but they were punching up as much as possible now to see if they can maybe surpass that level as kickoff goes the way of St. Clair.
But a good redirect from your P-Pop, but it goes all the way ready to Fabso. But McLean with a beautiful aerial might go for it. Oh my God!
McLean showing up right and early in this round. I mean, McLean is the player to watch for Fuel this year, right? He is such a high-level player, and he shows that with such a beautiful goal to bring Fuel the first one on the board. You told them they had to score first. That
was also 108 kph from the air.
That was beyond so fast, so hard to save, but it's, St. Clair trying to fight right back, but the members of Fuel stopped that one. The goaltending is there, but Fatalith keeps it up. It looks for something, looks for some sort of handoff, but Reeker's going to be the first one to catch it as McLean carry picking a little bit, trying to find some sort of value, especially if a clear goes the way of Fuel in the air, as Fatalith's going to be the one to catch it, passes it to Barris, who centers it up, but it's right into the tire, front hood of Reeker. Clears this one out and gets past Fabso. Fatalith once again there to catch it. 50 goes his way as it's up in the air and it's passed off. It's off the backboard. Fabso, and the ball has not touched the ground until Reeker finally brings it down, but Fuel need to get it out of their end, or else St. Clair is going to make magic happen. But the defense has been insane here for Fuel so far as McLean goes right back on the offensive.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see from Fuel going into the next game. You can see here we get another goal from McLean, putting a 2-0 lead on the board. You can already see a 180 from game 1 to game 2.
Just a nice, easy finish there from McLean as it's beautifully, brought up by Reeker, centered up, and no member of St. Clair was there to match it. Very rare to see, a player not to be back there ready to defend. Reeker, instead of Fuel, win the kickoff, and now they have 2 goals leading. They're going to keep this one. They want to keep the offense up as much as possible as this team, every team, they're just firing on cylinders, and Peepaw gets it past the members of St. Clair, and Fuel are lights out in this game too. I mean, just straight up beats out Fatalith here, completely punching up as Peepaw, he's the player that they were saying had to punch up a little bit the most, and he's doing exactly that. He beats out Fatalith. Now it's a 3-0 lead with 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, and there goes the kickoff.
It happens. Hey, they demo McLean.
On the they still have that insurance marker, right? They're still up by 2, but yeah, those sometimes kickoffs just go away. Outside of these really fancy plays, these really well team-oriented plays, they get goals in this type, these level in this game, you're just going to be seeing those kickoff goals. They always happen, and there's really nothing you can do. You just got to shake them off. But Fatalith goes up, tries to find something. He says, I can do it too, but the members of Fuel are there to stop it as it's right back inside of Fuel. This entire game, they've been kind of in their own end, but as soon as they get a breakaway, they pretty much get a goal. Fabso gets it past one, but McLean is there to stop it as Peepaw, a little bit of a bump, just trying to get it out. It's out once again, but the ball touch is not going to be there for Peepaw. Instead, Fabso is going to be the one to catch that one, but he runs out of boost a little bit too early as Reeker gets it past. He gets a demo. Can he finish it off himself?
Yes, he
Reeker,
can!
the one-man show for Fuel, gets the 4th goal on the board.
The
Gets it
redirection.
past 3 people here. A solo Reeker gets it past 3 people, and that's what you love to see if you are Fuel. It's now 3 minutes remaining, and they have a 3-goal lead. Kickoff goes the way of Fuel, or of St. Clair rather. Arrest gets it out, but it doesn't go in this time. McLean off the wall, make sure to save those. McLean, not just elite in the scoring, also seems to be quite a strong defender. A jack of all trades type of player. as members of Fuel, they're in the danger zone, and a beautiful finish there from Fatalif is going to bring St. Clair once again within 2. They're not going down without a fight this game. A beautiful pass there from Barris to Fatalif. McLean just a second too late. It will go 144 kph on that one.
And also, all of Fuel had no boost.
It's an unfortunate circumstance. Playing inside of Fuel, win a kickoff for the first time as a nice stop, just making it a dead ball there for Fatalif. Doesn't want any unplanned bounces to be happening as Rieker brings it, keeps it bringing into the side of St. Clair's half. Harris goes up, finds one. Can Rieker meet up? He does exactly that as Fatalif off of the ceiling, brings it to the corner, but McLean is there. Fabso is there once again, but Peepaw, beautiful pinch off of Fabso is going to win that one out as Barris goes up. It's a bump away. Stop Fuel from keeping that up, from McLean keeping up, and now he has no boost, so he is going to be in a bit of a dead situation. Side of St. Clair gets it past 2 players of Fuel as Fabso comes off this wall. McLean not going to stop it, and it's Barris to finish that one off as St. Clair bring us within 1.
The one thing I'm noticing, like, McLean is going to be playing a very last cannon.
Yeah, Barris finishing that one off of Fabso. Another beautiful handoff, but yeah, the glass cannon, right? It's pretty much all or nothing, especially when he goes onto the offense. He's willing to leave all that boost on the table. Sometimes, he gets caught in a situation where he doesn't have it. Now, St. Clair, they were down 3, now they're just down 1. This game is all of a sudden right back in their court. Fuel still has the lead. A minute and 30 seconds remain, and they keep the offense going. St. Clair trying to get it out of their own end, and they do exactly that. A 50, not go the way Fuel wants it to, as Rieker misses out on that ball, but Peepaw gets a nice centered clear, but Barris again just there to catch it. Lane, Rieker looking for some sort of secondary touch there, and the Star duo do something with this. They look for it, but Peepaw gets stopped there right at the end. It just keeps getting centered up, but there's no member of Fuel there to meet up with it as Rieker, player who was in the center, just had no boost to play with. Now McLean, pinch of the player, and Fatalif sneaks that one past 3, and the game is tied up 4-4 out of nowhere.
With a minute and 1 second on the clock. 121 kph.
Through 3 people there. Fatalif, a beautifully placed shot. 1 minute remaining, and it's a tie game in this game 2. St. Clair, they're not one to get bogged down by going down early. They're always willing to fight back. Fuel, they have to find that same success, but a demo into Fabso's score. I mean, beautiful team play there from St. Clair. Bring them the lead for the first time this game.
And you can see they strike, they go through that demo. That is what sold it. That demolition play was what sold that goal.
And I guarantee you that was planned, right? The whole point of that is, like, okay, there's one guy defending. If we can get that demo on him, it's a free goal. As now St. Clair, I mean, the ball's been in their court for so long, and it feels like the momentum has entirely shifted in their favor since that early game, as they've now, 5 goals in a row, 4 goals in a row?
Yeah,
I think it's 4 goals in a row here. So
4.
It was 4-1 at one point. Now they're up with 30 seconds remaining. Fuel need to start find that magic that they had early on in this game. So far, it's just been St. Clair's story in the second half as they continue on the offensive. Rieker tries to get it out. He has boost. He goes for 1. Gets it past 2 people, but can he get any more? The boost has run dry as Fatalif. Likewise, boostless, but he gets it where he wants it as the members of St. Clair bring it out. Rieker goes to the skies as Barris is just going to be able to stop that one with a nice back flip to get it onto the crossbar. Peepaw catches that one in the air. McLean brings it up with a boost on the side of Fuel. It's centered up, but there's no one to meet there until Rieker comes in. And instead of going in, it just bounces off the ground. A second too early as Fuel. A heartbreaking loss in that game too, as they had it. But they do go down 5-4 to St. Clair, climb their way back.
And as Fuel Esports goes into the hot seat for the potential series point, we need a miracle for a reverse sweep here. But Fuel has proven they can score. They were up by 4.
They were indeed up by 4, but apparently, they have to make sure that after they get that lead, they can hold on to it, right? Game 1, they didn't leave St. Clair any other opportunities, but Game 2, St. Clair, they just played more balls to the walls. They played as strong as possible, and they found those 4 goals back to back to back to back. And some of these goals are just beautifully placed. Fatalif finding some beautiful shots, a beautiful team play there to, get St. Clair the lead, and Fuel just not able to climb their way back. They need to shake that one off if they want any hope of reverse sweeping a team like St. Clair.
And there is a possibility, I believe there is, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
But it all starts with one.
It does. Let's see how it goes. The kickoff goes all in favor of St. Clair, but McLean is there, goes for it. It gets redirected by Reeker with a pass, strikes through, goes to your Peepaw, gets denied on the 50 there, strikes to McLean off the wall to Fabso with a really good center. It needs to be blocked now. Little bit of momentum strike there, goes to Bears, who bumps someone out of the way twice. I think that was Reeker or your Peepaw. It was somebody.
McLean, once again, almost always the player who has boost to start off these plays. Reeker try to get something, centers it up on net, but it's just going to go wide as Barris now looks for something. His air flips are doing so much. Reeker centers it up, but Fabso is always going to be there, as now it's his turn to make some magic happen. But it's a handoff, but a beautiful save by McLean to keep Fuel in it, as now he's the one looking for something, but it's not going to have the same level of power as what St. Clair just brought to the table. Peepaw not going to get the touch he wanted there. He's just going to go slightly wide. McLean, a nice shot there, but it's just going to be a center. Can he find it himself? The boost runs dry as Peepaw brings it towards the corner. Fuel keeping it in St. Clair's half, but now it's Barrist's time to play. He brings that ball dead. He just wants to center it as best as possible. Fabso goes up, stops it. McLean, a nice bump out of the way, gives Fuel a little bit of breathing room here, as now popped right back up in the air. Fatalif wins that one as Fabso's there to meet it, but Reeker again, because all these players are ready for every single little decision that the other team is going to be making, as this corner battle is going to tell a lot. St. Clair is going to win it out in the end as Barris gets it past one, and Peepaw goes flying past with no boost. He's going to have to crawl back towards his own end, and he's still boostless. Fuel almost playing 2 versus 1 here. Duo push here, but neither McLean nor Reeker really have much boost to play with. Finally gets it. McLean has to find something. A demo comes in for Fuel as Reeker starts to get a little bit handsy, a little bit physical, but it's just back into the corner of St. Clair and centered up, but there's no member of Fuel to meet it. Peepaw keeps it in St. Clair's half. This game has just been, they just keep it in St. Clair's half, but they haven't found these goal opportunities quite yet. And with half the time gone, they're looking for something. A centered up, but it's bounced off the wall. Can McLean get there in time? He goes up. He doesn't really have the speed, as Fatalif is going to be able to save that one easily. As now full boost for Fatalif. Instead, Reeker's the one that gets it and tries to trickle in. Fabso is there.
And now you see your Peepaw trying to go for a blitz strike, but it wasn't enough with the commit. Goes through, off the crossbar, again it goes through, and then off the crossbar and in, with St. Clair scoring the point. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock.
This game a lot like the first one so far, right? Been back and forth, but St. Clair finds that first blood, strikes first. They bring themselves the lead. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Fuel have to rally together to find something here, as they were on the offensive the whole time. They just weren't finding the goals. Barris with no boost looks for something to try to get it past McLean, but he does not. Neither does Fabso, as Reeker now tries to get it past Fatalif, but instead it's a pass back to Barris, who is ready to wait for that handoff to Fabso, but it goes towards the corner once again.
And with a strike now into the center, once again into the next corner. A strike from Reeker on the 50, winning it off to blast it back into the corner of Fuel. Another center to Fatalif will be enough. They're off the backboard where Reeker's there to meet it, breaking off that momentum. Goes to Fabso again off the board. It's now in a very dangerous center position, but McLean with a really good backwards redirect. It gets struck again, but back into the hands of St. Clair. This ball has been in Fuel's end zone for the past 30 seconds.
Fuel playing the best defense they possibly can, but they have to find some firepower. They have to get something rolling, or else it's just going to be a story like Game 1. But St. Clair, they don't want to give Fuel any breathing room whatsoever, as on McLean, neither of them get it. Reeker off of the backboard with no boost. He ends up 50ing, and it goes the way of St. Clair. It's popped up into the air. Fabso bounces it off the wall to slow down pace. It's centered up, but no member of St. Clair's there to meet it, because they don't need that goal. They just need to keep it in Fuel's end with 50 seconds remaining. Fuel, it's been in their own side for the last minute and a half, but McLean has different thoughts, and he gets it past one, but it's right towards the post, and Reeker bounces it back up, but Fatalif misses that touch. So does Peepaw. There's no member. Fuel have found it yet. 30 seconds on the clock as Barris tries to get something started.
And it's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling. It's still back. Goes to Peepaw, who strikes it. It follows right into the far end of the arena, all the way to Fab. So Reeker goes to meet it in the air. We're at the center. Goes to McLean, who strikes it again with a double strike. It goes through, and it gets hit right off. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7. We're back into Fuel's end. 5 seconds left. This is all to here.
Something. McLean with a finish with 2 seconds remaining brings Fuel to almost guaranteed overtime. And they keep their hopes alive with a beautiful pass play there from Reeker, realizing, I can't finish this myself. I'll hand it to you. And he does exactly that as McLean is there to meet up with 2 seconds remaining. As long as there's no kickoff goal, should be fine unless Fuel looks for something as the ball has yet to touch the ground. Fatalif brings it up. Arist tries to finish it, but it's brought down as we're in overtime of this game 3. Fuel on death's door. Final goal. They cannot let one in or else they're out of. They lose 3-0 today. They want to bring us to a game 4. You can feel it. Momentum almost feels like it may be in Fuel's favor at this point. It sees as St. Clair keeps it in Fuel's end.
Yeah, Fabso is playing some mind games there, trying to see if anyone was going to try and commit to a strike. You can see, though, goes from McLean to Reeker, up there to the backboard. It goes and strikes. It is bouncing dangerous in the side of St. Clair.
Catch it. Reeker sets up beautifully, but there's just no member of Fuel quite ready as now Fatalif gets it past McLean. Once again, just almost always there. A nice demo there from Reeker. Get Fuel some much needed momentum, but Fabso gets there before McLean as Fatalif gets a shot on net. Peapod, though, gets a save, but it was so dangerously close as Barris. The speed was not in the favor of Fuel as St. Clair will end up taking that, but Fuel showed that gods can bleed.
He definitely did. 50 seconds of overtime, and it came down to just a simple strike. But Fuel held their own.
Not one, every single game was within 1 goal. Not one of these games was a blowout. Both these teams fighting tooth and nail, just trying to get that little bit of an advantage. But in the end of the day, St. Clair came up on top. But Fuel, I mean, this is a brand new roster, and you're already showing this level of performance. Feels like this season has a lot in store for us and a lot of good.
I cannot wait to see the future games for Fuel, and I cannot wait for us to rematch St. Clair, because that is going to happen. We will be facing off against these guys again in the future. That is a guarantee.
Yeah, and I mean, here St. Clair had the upper hand, but I think Fuel can definitely figure out, iron out those small little details, figure out exactly, it was mostly team play, right? St. Clair they were working like a well-oiled machine. A lot of those plays were just beautiful handoffs or knowing where they wanted to be, knowing where the ball was going to go. And that's something that just comes with time of playing together. This Fuel roster is brand new together. So we'll see as the semester keeps on going, how much better they can get. I don't know about you, but I mean, we'll see if one of them wants to talk to us.
I would love to see if one of them wants to talk to us.
We'll see if we can get an interview with one of the Fuel guys. So don't go anywhere. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. Back, it's a 3-0 loss, but it was a hard-fought battle and a very exciting one, and we are joined by the captain of our Fuel Esports Rocket League team, Reeker. How you feeling after that one?
Oh, crazy. It was crazy. Very
I'm
much so.
I'm absolutely blown away by the performance. It may have been a hard-fought loss, but absolutely, like, for that to be like your debut as a team against St. Clair, and that's how you come out.
Yeah.
You made them work for that win.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very hectic. Like the team mentality is the best I've ever seen it too. Like we were screaming even about some of the goals. I just think we had like crazy plays. It was ridiculous.
I think both teams really just came out with 110% firepower. I mean, the first goal that St. Clair got to, set things off, but then you guys fired right back in that game. Game two especially was just complete mayhem. But I mean, I guess how are you feeling going into the season after that showing?
Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with McLean's and Peepaw's performance. I bet people were not expecting Peepaw to play that well as well. So.
Well, yeah, when you were telling me, you were mentioning that, both you and Peepaw kind of had to punch up a little bit, but Peepaw a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
As far as the ELO's concerned, but I think he did fantastic.
Yeah, very
all
much
of
so.
you really did. So I feel like, you guys did exactly what you set out to do. Obviously not exactly the outcome you wanted, but still.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first time playing as a team. Literally, like, we did one scrim to see who we were picking, and that was it. Like, we played 30 minutes with Peepaw, so to do as well as we did, literally playing once, that's pretty good.
So then going into the rest of the season, you can see, like, especially like going to the, like, watching the replays of these goals, if you can keep this coordination, mentality, and setups, you'll have an insane season, I think.
Yeah, there was just a few miscommunication plays that happened, and I think if we dealt with that, because you saw they had so much chemistry to the point where they made like no team mistakes. I think if we had that, we would have a much closer or better series.
And that's just something that's going to come with time, right? I think even though we said the same with the ACAD roster, even though it's your first time as a team playing together, you guys look like you have such great natural chemistry and already seem to have, a pretty high level of synergy. To be able to even fight against a team such as St. Clair with such little practice, I think it really is just telling of how strong this roster really is.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of good things to come.
Yeah, very much so.
So kind of my final question for you is, what will be like the prep plan? Because you said you only scrimmed once, so I assume a lot more scrimming time, just a lot of like practice, communication, kind of getting out those, just filling in the gaps of where you feel like you can work on.
Yeah, I'm hoping we run a few more, but it's been really hectic because there's been a lot of other Rocket League related events on right now in the month of January. So I'm hoping we can get more scrims in potentially after that. Only a couple weeks, and then hopefully, we can end up getting some chemistry on.
For sure. I think outside of chemistry, would you say there's anything else you really think so far, like after just that one game you would need to work on immediately?
Maybe, but I think it also, like, especially with Peepaw, it just comes with time. It's the first time he's played against this level of team, at least I believe so. And he already played like crazy. Like, he knew where to be. It was only just a couple things of consistency that he has to worry about. But otherwise, he played really well, way better than anyone probably would have thought. So.
Thank you very much for joining us, Reeker. Obviously, we said this already, but I think we are all very, very excited to see you guys continue out throughout this semester.
I'm happy with the team. It was really good.
Yeah, I think we're all extremely excited. Some of the most high-octane, most exciting Rocket League I've watched personally. But with that, I mean, I've been Noon. This is my Dragon. Thank you very much for joining us for our first return stream of the winter term for 2026. We are so excited to be back, and we are ready for a fantastic year full of Fuel Esports action. So make sure you follow all of our socials, Fanshawe Fuel, everywhere to keep up to date with all of our teams as we have more than just Rocket League coming up soon.
Have a great night, everyone.